Every day, you have a decision to make. Are you gonna get up and strive for greatness, or roll over and settle for average, making excuses and procrastinating until tomorrow? Either way, the choice is yours.
Over the last few weeks, we've covered a lot of ground together. We started off by saying your life is your fault. And we talked about how we must take responsibility for all of the experiences we have. And then I said your life is your fault because it's a result of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. And our thoughts, feelings, and actions are our fault. And then last week, we talked about the most important decision I've ever made in my life. I shared it with you. I shared a story with you. And I told you that you can either be the victim of circumstance or you can be the creator of it. And really everything that I've shared so far can be defined by one word: perspective. And our perspective is a particular way of viewing things. It's how we see the world. It's our point of view. And our perspective literally creates our reality. It's a lens that we see all of the world through. And this perspective, it can either give us superhuman strength, like you see in this picture right here, or it can leave you hanging off a cliff. But either way, it all comes down to your perspective. Your perspective can help you defy the odds and limitations, or if you flip it, maybe it just allows you to take a step back and relax with a friend. But either way, this perspective that you have in life is going to be determined by the beliefs that you have. The belief that your life is your fault. The belief that your thoughts, feelings, and actions are controlling your life. The belief that you're the victim or the victor. It all comes down to perspective. So the question then is, how do we change our perspective? Maybe the reality that you have right now is not great. Maybe you want more out of life. In fact, if you're watching this video, I'm sure that's what has drawn you to this. And that's why I'm sharing, because I believe as brothers, right, we're kindred spirits. We both want the best life possible. We want to become the best men that we can be. And that typically comes down to changing our perspective. If we want new results in life, we've got to see things differently. And the way that you see things differently is by removing the lens and replacing it with something that's going to help you get where you want to go. So the question is, how do you change your perspective? For me, I've done it in 3 ways. The first way is I've tried to ask myself a better question. You see, brothers, questions control our lives, and I'll dive more into this in a future video, but what you guys need to know right now is the answer that you're looking for is determined by the question that you ask. And so if you ask yourself a better question, you'll find a new answer. So number 1 is, if you want to change your perspective, you've got to ask a new or better question. The second thing I do is change my point of view. I try to get a new vantage point, and that's what I illustrated with the photos that I sent you, right? The first picture I showed you was this guy with superhuman strength holding up his girlfriend. And all it was 2 people laying on the ground and the photographer taking a picture from a specific vantage point, right? And then in one of the other pictures, I showed you guys hanging off a cliff, and he's like hanging on for dear life. That was just him laying on the ground, but again, the photographer took a photo from a very specific point of view. When we change our point of view, we see things different, and when we start to see things different, we create different results. We create new perspectives. That's all I'm trying to do with Mink in the Morning. If we get down to it, all I'm trying to do is share with you new ideas and insights, perspectives that I have, in hopes that you might have one of those moments where you go, wow, I've never thought of it like that before. That right there, if you've ever had a moment where you go, damn, I've never thought of it like that before, that's a new perspective. That's how you change your life, brothers. And the third thing I do is get new insights. And an insight is simply a new idea, a new thought, a new connection. Maybe it's reading a book, maybe it's having a conversation with a friend or a mentor. Whatever it is, new insights can help give you that new perspective you're looking for, which can change your reality. I'll leave you guys with this. Helen Keller said, "I cried because I didn't have any shoes until I met a man that had no feet." Whether you're going through life or you're growing through life, all comes down to your perspective. If you change your perspective, you change your reality. I'll see you guys next week.